Hey, g'day. Well, it has been more than a year since my last video, and the last video I was very optimistic that I was going to put up a video a week just after my first child was born. I was very naive. But we're still being on the farm, and I've been wanting to put up videos for ages, and maybe I'm just starting to get to the right time. So it's been quite a few changes, and hopefully I've got some new things to share with you all. So that in the background is my #1 co-star. Yes, he's famous. Sorry about that, that wouldn't be very professional. So this is young Neo, becoming quite a little farmer on his own. He's helping us plant veggies. Can't stop him eating things out of the garden straight away. So anyway, let's get on. What you remember if you watched any of my other videos is that previously I was growing them over near our dam, beautiful setting, but I was growing them in beds, sort of traditionally how you would do it when you come from a small sort of suburban backyard, I guess, which is what I had done before we moved out into the farm. But what I found was that was a bit restrictive for me when I'm lucky enough to have some space. And they were also, they weren't really no-dig gardens either. They were, traditionally I would turn them over at the end of each season. So what I wanted to do was change the way we were growing our vegetables, because it does certainly take a lot to grow enough to sustain your family. So I needed a bit more room, and I wanted to change the style, which was to go towards a no-dig garden. So what I'm going to show you today is the start of our new veggie patch, which will probably double in size in the next 6 months or so, but we're just starting off with this for our winter crops. So I'll turn the camera around and we'll see how we go. Okay, so here we are. It's in a little bit different position from our last veggie patch, but it's still, although it's a bit cloudy this morning, this gets the morning sun. We're facing the north, which for us in the southern hemisphere is where you get the most sun. I probably could have run my beds, they're running north-south, probably could have run them east-west, but since my crops aren't going to get that tall, I thought it's probably not such a big issue. We get sun here in the mornings right through to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon in summer, to about 3 in the afternoon in winter. So, but we've basically made these, they're about 20 meters long, I guess, and we have 4 rows at the moment. And the way we've done it is we're lucky we can get mulch from our local refuse, which is all the green waste that comes from people's yards or commercial tree trimmers or what have you, and they mulch it up, and it's quite nice sort of stuff. So we use that as a base and put it quite heavy, as you can see. They're probably, I'll try and get down, they would be about at least 30 centimeters high, raised beds here on this side of it. And then what we have done as a starting point is our grow material in the middle. There is layers underneath. Before we put the mulch down, we collect lots of cow manure from our friendly cows that you can see there. Put that down first, then we pile up the mulch on top of it, and then we dig a bit of a furrow through the top, and we've put this lovely stuff, which I'll just try and show you. And this is compost mulch, mushroom compost, I should say. Now I'll take you over and show you how we get it, but literally it comes from the mushroom growers, and these are organic mushroom growers, so they don't use any chemicals or pesticides, and it's beautiful. It's got lots of peat and sawdust and what have you in there, and our plants seem to be loving it. So because it's our winter crop, we have now got a lovely big row of normal potatoes, which we're heaping up. I didn't have a great deal of success with the tire method, but I think that was more just my poor effort rather than the method. But we want to grow a lot, so we've grown half a row of potatoes there on that side. They're about 6 weeks in, and from about here down on this row from those stakes actually, we've just planted the next lot of seed potatoes, so they'll come up about 6 to 8 weeks behind the others, and hopefully we'll get sort of back-to-back crops of normal potatoes. And then in this lovely row is our sweet potatoes, which all come along nicely. Mix them up a bit, normal potatoes, some sweet potatoes. Now, while I'm over here, this is basically how the mushroom compost arrives. We get it in bags, so they're about probably between 5 and 10 kilos per bag, and we get that for 50 cents a bag, so it's really cheap. You can see some mushrooms actually growing out the side. That's one of the great benefits of getting it. You usually get a crop or two of mushrooms at the end. Actually just picked a beautiful bunch of them this morning. Look at those. I mean, one of those is enormous. That, gosh, look, it's the size of my hand. That is a mushroom. That's a meal on itself. I'm thinking about some mushroom pasta tonight. What do you think, mate? Mushroom pasta? Yeah, I think so. Yes. Alright, so we've got a few beans which we're waiting to sprout. They've only just gone in. Snow peas, so these are more like you'd use in your Thai curries and what have you. And then, and now our winter tomato crop. Now, that's all tomatoes. And this is one of the tips I've learned off one of the other YouTubers, which I think is a great idea. We've actually run a wire from a post just here right down to a post at the other end, and then we've made rings just out of fencing wire, and we have just cable tied them to the top. And you put your tomatoes in at the bottom, slip the ring over, and then as they grow, these rings are going to support them. And we've done that for each of our tomatoes trees all the way down to the end. Now, I reckon that's way better, way easier than having individual stakes and having to tie them up as they grow. Here they're just going to fall out of the rings, and the rings will support them. And when we're finished for the season, we'll just simply snip the cable ties on the top, pull the rings off, chop the tomatoes off at the base, because we're going for sort of a no dig, and lay the tomato bushes on the top so they'll turn into compost for next season. So we've got quite a lot in here. They're a mix of large heirloom type and then Roma tomatoes, which are our, at least in Australia here, sort of a slightly smaller but pretty yummy tomato all the same. So hopefully we'll get a nice big crop off of those guys. And down here, well, nothing at the moment. That is saved for our onions, which we're just germinating in seeds, ready for planting out next month. Some broccoli, more peas. These are actually sort of peas that you crack out of the pod. I'm going to try and hopefully we get a whole stack of them. It's not a massive row. I might plant another row shortly and try and freeze some of those. Leeks, because it's winter. I really like leek soup. And then a whole swag of lettuce. Lettuce, because I have trouble growing them here in the summer. They just go to seed too quickly, so it's got to be a winter crop for me. And beetroot. I haven't had a lot of success with beetroot so far, so I'm going to document these and see how we go. See if I can work out some tips. Uh-oh, we've got a mushroom thief. I shouldn't have let him get that. He'll eat it, that's the problem. He loves fresh produce and he'll start munching them instead of letting me make pasta with them. So, anyway, uh-oh, look. He's even got the big one. So, while they're just here, I think last time, not sure if I even had any cattle last time. We started off with five little heifers that were 6 months old, and one bull who was 6 months old. He's now quite a ripper. And he must be getting close to 18 months, 2 years old. 18 months, I guess. And we're up to 16 head of cattle. There's a few of my neighbours in here, so anyway. There you go, I'm up to the 10-minute mark, so I better hurry up and finish off. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for any of you who've come back after I've had a stint. I will do my best to keep a few more videos posted. Cheers, see ya.